you might feel like giving up. You might feel shitty. You might feel like you're the worst person ever. But I don't believe that's the reason that the growth mindset puts that in front of you. I don't think that's the whole purpose. And we are back. You are watching the New Era Mindset. Just to recap about what I've been talking about so far on the first videos of the growth mindset. And the first video I talked about the opening. It's kind of the first phase of what happens when you start developing a growth mindset. Well, at least on my experience. And on part 2, I talked about the willpower, how it helps you to stop doing the bad things, the things that are not going to get you to where you want to be in life and all that, right? It's kind of like, if you don't stop doing those things that are keeping you where you are right now, then how are you going to get, how are you going to move on? How are you going to start growing where you want to grow, or develop new things, or just start doing things that are really going to push you to have a better life? The growth mindset doesn't just help you in one area. And I think that's what makes it so interesting, so amazing. The fact that, you can focus on one thing, but this one thing helps you in many areas of your life. For example, me, when I started developing this mind, I started to realize that I was being more aware of how I was doing things, not just for people, not just for friends, not how I, even how I was talking to certain people. And it started to really make me aware of how I was acting in certain situations, how I was, how I was becoming, how I was doing things in my marriage. It just helped me overall. Like, I started looking at problems different. I started looking at challenges in a different way. I started looking at everything that I was going through as a win, because I was always looking at the positive things. But not only that, it was just making me better in everything, like in many areas of my life. It's awesome, and that's why I like to talk about this. That's why I've gotten on this journey of helping people to develop, a better mind. I'm not saying you necessarily have to go on and fully develop a growth mindset, but at least be a little more open to new ideas. See, before I was going through this whole before I was going through this whole stressful situation, and I literally didn't know what to do. I have a family that I have to support, but then I had all this debt. I had all this stuff that I had to deal with, and it's just like, it was just really, really stressing me out to the point where my life, I just didn't have control of it. Mentally, I was getting mad at my son, who at the time was 3 years old, for things that I shouldn't be mad at. It was just becoming a mess. But when I started to go on this journey, I started becoming more aware of how I was being, and it helped me to, it pointed me to the things that I was doing bad, and it helped me see how to switch things around, how to start acting on those things to become better, to learn, to develop myself and have better results by acting on those things that I was doing bad. There's one thing that has been my biggest struggle with developing a growth mindset, and that is the fact that it points to you at everything that you have done wrong. I don't mean like mistakes, like financial mistakes or and that's not what I'm talking about. I mean how you may have done something wrong in the past to somebody, or it affected somebody, or something like that. So before I didn't have this type of thinking. I was very, very different. But now that I'm developing this whole thing, it has pointed me to how I used to be. I've learned, I've become different, and I changed many of the things that I know were not good for me or good for the people around me. But the thing is that I was definitely not the greatest kid around, or so I kind of have a lot to carry from my past. It has made me really, really struggle with this whole situation right now in the present, because it makes me, like I said, it makes you aware of the things you do, and it has made me aware of the things that I've done. Now you see, in the growth mindset, this doesn't happen so that you quit, so that you give up and just, throw in the towel and just say that's it, I can't deal with this anymore. Like, it doesn't make you look at the bad things that you've done for that purpose. It makes you look at the bad things that you've done so that you learn from this, so that you know to become better, so you know to do the good things from here on, so you can start building a new life. Kind of, make sure that you don't bring that stuff from the past and start doing the same things in the present or in the future. That's the whole purpose of that. But sometimes it's just, it's just very, very difficult, because like I'm emotionally impacted by this, and it's very hard to deal with it. But at the same time, I know that my journey on this, the path that I'm taking, is the right path for me. I'm not saying it may be the right path for everybody, right? But it's definitely the right path for me. And so that's why I continue to work on this, to develop myself, to develop my mind. But we have to, when we start developing the growth mindset, we have to be aware of what we're getting into. I'll be honest, I didn't think I was getting into this much when I started developing this whole new way. I had no clue of everything that I was going to encounter. I mean, the challenges are difficult, but at the same time, they're the thing that are going to make you better. They're the thing that are going to make you grow and do greater things, and not just for yourself, but for other people as well, for the people around you and the people that you may talk to, or even people that you don't talk to, but that they see you and they're like they start to wonder, how the hell is it that you have such a great life, just because it reflects from you. It's one thing that we have to be really, really aware that when we get into the growth mindset, at one point you might, depending on your past, depending on the things that you've done, you're gonna come back. When you start developing the growth mindset, at least it happened with me, those things are gonna come back, because you're gonna start to realize all the things that you did bad, how you affected people in the wrong way. And you might feel like giving up. You might feel shitty. You might feel like you're the worst person ever. But I don't believe that's the reason that the growth mindset puts that in front of you. I don't think that's the whole purpose. The idea behind it, I believe, is so that you know that you did wrong. You own it. And now that you are seeing things in this way, are you going to go back? Are you going to do things the same way? Or are you going to do things different? Are you going to be better? Are you going to be a person that does good for others, for yourself obviously too, but somebody who tries to live a more pure life? I think that's what it's all about. Well, I hope that this video helped you a little bit understand about the growth mindset. I kind of wanted to talk about this because it's kind of something that I've been struggling with, because it made me so aware of many things. But it's helped me. It's really, really helped me in many ways. And I think I'm not going to stop developing myself. It may be difficult sometimes. You really have to work through it. But if I want to get to that point where I have ultimate peace and the right mind to encounter pretty much anything in life, I think I better get through all this. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it was helpful to you and maybe a little bit informational about what the growth mindset kind of does to you, or at least what it did to me, because this is kind of a video of my experience. And if this did help you, please give it a like. That will help this channel grow. And if you haven't yet done it, please subscribe to this channel so that you can get that notification and head to YouTube and keep developing yourself and keep learning about the new era mindset. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, take care. Bye.